Hey everyone, I want to put together a video kind of explaining what the VACPAD is, how it's used, and different applications for it. I get asked a lot of questions. Hopefully I can answer most of them in this video so that everyone kind of gets the gist of it and understand what these things can do for you. So what is the VACPAD? It is, like it sounds, it's a vacuum pad. So it uses air suction from a compressor, a motor, a vacuum pump, whatever you want to call it, because there's a lot of names for a similar thing. It uses suction to hold a piece of material. And with that suction, you can actually then work on the material without damaging the material at all. Let's say you're used to using clamps to hold down a piece of material, you're putting marks in it, it's a finished product, or it's getting close to finish, you sanded it, but you don't want to put any indents in it. The great thing about this vacuum pad is you can use it for that, and you can still use it like a normal clamp without having it obstruct your work surface at all. These pads come in a few different sizes. I will be introducing a new larger pad hopefully soon. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best size for most people to use. But so far I have a small pad, which is overall 8 by 4 inches, and this is used for holding down more narrow materials. The standard pad, the one I kind of started out with, is a overall 6 by 10 inch. And this pretty much grabs 90% of the stuff you're going to work with, maybe 95%. This thing works great at holding a lot of pressure because it has more of a surface area to suction onto, opposed to the smaller one that's just for smaller material. And then a bigger pad, even more suction, so you can hold even bigger pieces with ease. These pads come in two types of applications. One is a double suction, which is the most popular. So the backside is open so that once the pump is turned on, you take this pad, place it anywhere, it will suction to that surface. So now you have this that's portable just about anywhere in your shop or even on the job if you want to use it. Let's say you got a countertop on the job, that'd be great for a work surface. You don't want to damage it, you want to do anything to it. You can literally suction cup this to it and now hang your material off and make your cuts. You know, you're not clamping something down. So that's one, is the double suction. The other one is called a fixed mount, where all it is two countersunk screw holes that then you can mount it to any surface, not as a permanent, but it's just fixed there. So you can move it afterwards if you want to. Both pads can actually be used for the same application. Now, let's say I wanted to create my double suction into a fixed mounted. All I do is drill 2 holes here. Whenever you do that, then you want to plug up this back hole because you don't want to lose that suction. Vice versa, let's say I want this as double suction, since there's already screw holes for fixed mounted. All I do is plug up those 2 holes in the front, take off the hole that's plugged in the back, and now you have double suction. So one pad can be used as 2, which makes these very versatile. And it's very easy just to plug those holes. All you need is some tape. I have these oversized round stickers that I'll place over it, and you're good to go. So these pads are very versatile. You can use them in a lot of different applications. I use these all the time in my shop. Whether I'm holding material, a more common way that I build cabinets is frameless. So I'm using a lot of panels, edge banding, whatnot. And when it comes to trimming it, I literally place my panels up against it, suction cup holds it, and I can edge trim, no problem. Take it right off, move on to the next piece without damaging any surface whatsoever, because the only thing that's holding it is a suction and a foam pad, which will cause no damage. Now these pads, you can not only just use them in the shop, but on the job. I have plenty of videos on my Instagram page that show me using it on the job, and plenty more videos in the future that show me using it, just to get the idea out there that if you can think of a way to use this, most likely you probably could. So these pads are not just a one application type thing. You can use these for a lot of different things. Now, that's talking about the pad. Pretty much, that's really all you need. Everything else from this point on forward, you can outsource yourself, or I offer you the ones that I recommend to use. So let's go with the switch first. Now the switch that I offer is a foot switch that all it is on off. So these motors that you need to run this, whether it's a trim compressor or the actual motor that I provide, all you need to do is turn the motor on and turn it off to use it. So while the motor's running, it creates suction and holds your piece. Then you just turn it off to then release the piece. Or if you get enough leverage, you can always pop things off, but I recommend you just turn off the motor, let the suction depress, and you can take it off. Now the motor that I offer is a very heavy duty, rated for 20,000 hours, around 4 CFM if I remember. Thermal overprotection overload, so if this thing starts to overheat, it will turn itself off, but it's never happened to me. And I've had this thing running all day, just going through building cabinets, edge banding, no problems whatsoever. So for those out there to say if there needs to be a safeguard in place for another pump or anything, really that's not necessary. This is just for your woodworking applications. So really this motor is actually overkill for anything I need to do here in the shop. I've done tests with a smaller motor that is a little bit smaller than my palm of my hand, and it's hold 60 pounds right over the edge. You can see a video in my feed. Take a look at that. Going further, really the beauty of this whole system too is that you don't have to buy my motor. You can use just about any trim compressor or small compressor or vacuum pump. All you have to do is just connect it into that pump at the inlet section, and that's it. Then you're ready to go. So, for as an example that I've used in the past, and kind of one that will apply to a lot of different motors, is this trim compressor that I have. It's California Air, 1 gallon, small compressor. Here's the intake. All you have to do is thread this off, put on the threaded quick connect, which are on these pads, but I send another one with you. So you'll take that other one, thread it into there, plug your hose into it, and then you're good to go. Once you turn on this compressor, it starts suction. Now, if you're using a trim compressor, I would recommend opening the valve, because the motor of this will turn off once the pressure builds up in this tank. We don't want the motor to turn off for any reason, so we're just keeping that valve open and allowing the pressure to go through, allowing the motor to run when we want it to run. So that's kind of like an overview of what the pad is, what it does. There's a lot of applications. I plan on doing more and more videos to show you people how it works, what you can use it for, and I mean the possibilities for this thing are endless. I've been using this type of a pad. Now, granted, this is more of a refined pad, you know, for customers to buy. I have old ones that I've been using for years. I've been using this type of a system for years, and it's helped me being a one-man shop, having that extra hand in a sense to hold things very easily, not damaging anything. That way I can keep working and not lose productivity. Now, this being said, the pads that I sell here, there are other systems out there, and by all means go ahead and try them out. I try to make mine as affordable as possible for other people to use. There are other systems like the Festool vacuum system. I don't know what it's called exactly, but you're talking about, you know, in the US around $1,300 for that system to buy the whole thing, and you pretty much have to buy all of their stuff, which Festool makes some great things, but to me the price for that is just a little bit out of my budget, and the idea is very simple. All you need is a vacuum pad. Now, there are some other companies that make other pads like these. The problem is they don't make different sizes. So those other companies that make them, they'll make smaller pads, a 4-inch by 4-inch, a 5-inch by 5-inch squares. These rectangular pads hold the pressure across and vertically down very well. And with these pads too, goes to say, I can make any size. So you contact me, you want a 12-inch by 16-inch pad, you want a 10 by 10-inch pad, you want something bigger, smaller, whatever it is, I can make it, because I make these pads myself. So knowing that's pretty much the gist of all of this. If you have any questions, always feel free to message me on Instagram or on my website where I'm selling them down the page. There's a box you can fill out, send me an email. If you have any questions or you want to know some other ideas for applications, these pads are very versatile, and I really want the idea to get out there so people can understand having these in the shop is a great extra hand, because I've been using these for years and they've been that extra hand for me in the shop when I'm here all by myself all day working. But yeah, that's pretty much the overview. Hopefully this answered a lot of questions. If you have any other questions, obviously you can feel free to message me, and head to my website that I will be selling these with other parts, just about anything. I'm building the website little by little to hopefully show you guys what these pads are and what they can be used for. And these are not just a DIY application. I'm a professional carpenter, wood shop, and I use these all the time. And I've had plenty of wood shops contact me about buying them for their shop, for their employees, because these help save time and make things a hell of a lot easier. Well, hopefully that helped.